Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Reinvention, the power of coaching for ministry change. I'm Charity Starchenko. I'm the marketing manager at Vibrant Faith, and I'm here with Jim Ledoux today. He is the director of coaching and services. And today we're actually going to talk a little bit about the difference between coaching, mentors, and consultants. So Jim, if you could tell us a little bit about the difference between those three things, what they are, how they differ from each other, and when is the best case for coaching, mentoring, and consulting?
Okay. And by the way, all of them can be very helpful. So it's just important to know what the difference is, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
When you think about working with a mentor, the mentor is the expert. You're tapping that person's past experience, their perspectives, their wisdom. And usually the mentors are individuals that have kind of gone the path you're exploring. They've already done that. And so they have the source of wisdom as you kind of walk through this new reality for you. But you're really seeking a mentor that's going to provide expertise and some wise perspectives.
Yeah.
Same thing with a consultant. The consultant is the expert. It's the person that kind of does the assessment, lays out the process, offers recommendations. You pay them for their expertise. And what's different about coaching is actually the client is the expert. The job of the coach is actually to draw out the wisdom, the imaginations, the gifts that the client has, and help them frame new ways of being and doing for themselves and for their ministries. But that's the key difference, is that the client is the expert and the coach's job is to help draw that out.
Yeah.
Another key element.
Sorry, I was going to say, I like that as the client being the expert. Like, nobody knows their church or their ministry better than the people inside of it. And so they can easily, I can see that relationship working really well.
Yeah. Another key difference, especially between coaching and consultants, is, and we work with a lot of churches that have consultants. And again, they serve a very useful purpose. There's certain times where I play the role of a consultant. But so often what we see is a consultant comes up with a list of recommendations that never get implemented. And then the church leaders blame the consultant. Well, we did that, nothing changed. Well, actually, the consultant did what they needed to do. It wasn't their job to make the changes. It was the client's job to change that.
Yeah.
So a real critical element is in coaching, we understand that the client is not only the expert, but they're the ones that are in charge, and the coach follows their lead. But that also means that the client is responsible for the results. And responsible for taking action. So it's not, so we draw out the wisdom, we help them chart next steps, but ultimately the client has to do those things.
Yeah.
So that's a real critical element, that the client is the expert and they're responsible for the outcomes as well as their next steps and actions.
Yeah, that's a really great distinction. How does coaching lead to transformation compared to consultants or mentors? Does it happen faster, slower? Is there a different set of expectations people should have when they approach these types of relationships, especially a coaching relationship?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple real gifts of the coaching process. One is, and I also look at where do people get stuck? So this is their preferred future. They want to move that way, but they're just fine. We just don't seem to be getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And one of the gifts of coaching is that a coach helps increase clarity. Increase clarity about what that preferred future looks like. Increase clarity about what those roadblocks or things that might slow down the process. Increase clarity about people's individual roles and responsibilities to help move forward, as well as what those next steps are. And so often people are immobilized simply because they don't understand the purpose or their role or the next step. So clarity is a critical element, because you just can't move forward without that. The other element is we increase awareness. So often people see that path for moving forward only has one and maybe two paths. And the role of a coach is actually to expand the possibilities. Is there a better way? What other options or approaches have you not considered? What are other people doing in that setting that might give us some insight as to what your next steps might be? But we try to expand the possibilities of how they might move forward to honor their preferred future.
Yeah.
And that also means in that context that we rethink our assumptions and we rethink our approaches, and we also rethink what our next steps might be.
Yeah.
Another element would be increasing agency. It's that idea too. So often we talk about things, but we don't take the next step. And coaching is always talking about who's going to do what by when, how are we forward, what will you hope to celebrate a week from now or 30 days from now. So agency is critical, and that's connected to that accountability piece too. So because so often we don't have accountability built into our systems of leadership.
Yeah. I actually really like those timeline-based questions. What do you want to have accomplished in 30 days or 90 days or a year from now? I think that really helps to build like a visioning process so that you can like build on, you can create momentum and build on it. And I actually have found those helpful personally for me as well. I think they would really benefit other people. So that's really,
that's really, we invite clients to really paint a picture of your preferred future. Because not only is it easier to get there when you have a clearer idea, but there's also something energizing about it, saying, I want that. I can see myself in that. And so that spurs on people's self-motivation to take the next step.
Yeah. And I think that's really great. I love that. This is a great chat, Jim, and I'd really love to talk more. And in our next video, we are going to talk about some of the frequently asked questions people have for us about coaching and all the different options that we have for that, from coaching school to coaching packages to one-off phone calls and things like that. But if you'd like to learn more about the power of coaching for ministry change, we'd love for you to click on the links below this video and explore our coaching services, our coaching school. Think about trying on coaching for yourself. What would that look like for you to develop skills to coach your own ministry team at your church or your job or anywhere else that you find yourself in your calling? And we'd love to have you explore that. We have a one-day coaching skills intensive coming up in the fall. We'll see you at the next video, and we're looking forward to talking more about these questions. Thanks so much, Jim.
You're welcome.